What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So you see the title of this video, retroactive payments. What does that mean? Where are they coming from? When are we going to get them, and who will receive them? Well, I'm going to break that down in this video. I also want to address additional assistance. What we are going to see, because multiple lawmakers have been actually very vocal over the past 24 to 48 hours and have been telling us one little secret. One secret that many of us have already known, but they are now coming out and publicly stating this, that Democrats need to come forward, push for more assistance to the American people in this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. Or if they do not do that, they worry that they will not win their seats in the House or the Senate in the upcoming midterm elections. Here's what we know. Right now, many lawmakers are worried that if they don't pass popular legislation from or within the American people and what they want, the problem is the American people, us voters, will most likely not vote for them during the midterm elections. And it's quite possible. But what they are saying is they need to have bigger talking points. They need to have something that they can run their campaign off of. Republicans already have their campaign pretty much planned, because what Democrats are doing or not doing, Republicans are going to fight against it. Well, it's going to work for Republicans according to many experts. But this is why many Democrats are saying we need more. Let's provide more. Let's not be stingy. Let's get the American people exactly what they want and need. Let's get through this pandemic together, and we will be better off in the end. But again, who knows if that actually happens? But let's get into the true update for today. Where are these retroactive payments coming from? Who is going to get them? And why are these coming now? Here's what we know. There's going to be new legislation introduced in the next few days, according to reports, that are going to extend unemployment benefits. This is going to be beneficial to people that either A, lost their benefits on September 6th, or are going to need unemployment benefits very soon, but do not have it through the state. Maybe they used all of their available weeks. If that's the case, this would actually extend it again. Here's what we know. This legislation is going to be brought forth by, I believe, Ayanna Pressley. I don't remember the second one. And then AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Those are ones that are going to bring this legislation forward. What we know is this will be retroactive all the way to September 6th. All the way, it's like a week ago. But it's going to go back to September 6th, and it will expire on February 1st, 2022. That's actually pretty good. That's a decent amount of time where we can extend unemployment benefits. The problem here, though, as soon as this was mentioned, one of the reporters asked why February 1st, because in February we would still be in the thick of things. If anything turns out like it did last year with COVID cases, unemployment benefits, the surge in hospitalizations and deaths, if that happens, it's going to happen in the winter months. Well, that's February 1st. So some are saying if this were to get passed, it should be pushed back into maybe, possibly into May. That would probably be the best thing. But according to what experts are saying, or somebody close to the situation, they are saying that the reason why this group chose February 1st is because it's long enough to help out the American people, but short enough it should get a decent amount of support. But again, it's going to be very difficult to really see if this gets pushed through, because all Democrats pretty much let this expire without any legislation beforehand, which makes me wonder, is this something that's really on their priority list, or is this just to try to buy votes for the upcoming midterm election? I don't know. Estimates do show that about 7.5 million people lost their unemployment benefits in September. That's a lot of people to lose all their income, 100%. Now, this would actually provide more security in a time when people need an income and jobs are not coming back in full in every state. Now, in certain states like Oregon State, jobs are coming back and things are looking great, but in a lot of states in the South, that's not what we're seeing. But people in the South are not only impacted by COVID cases, people not hiring, or the wages are not what they want, and they're also being impacted by obviously Hurricane Ida and then the tropical storm. Well, that's stuff that we continue to see. So we'll see what happens there. Now, AOC did have this to say, and I quote, "I will be reintroducing legislation to bring back the pandemic unemployment assistance. I'm not entirely sure the prospects of it. We will work it. We will try, but I simply just could not allow us to let this happen without us at least trying." And I think that's what the American people want, is if we do not see any person even discuss additional assistance to the American people, then why are these people talking about it? We can talk all we want, but without pushing something through and introducing new legislation, talk is cheap. And I think the American people have realized that. I know I have, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have as well. But this is also what lawmakers are saying is, if we are discussing stimulus checks, why is nobody proposing any legislation for stimulus checks? And we've been asking the same thing. The legislation that a lot of us are talking about, the $2,000 per month stimulus checks, that was last year. That's old news. That would have to pass the House again. That's not something that we can just, pass the House last year, let's just introduce it into the Senate. No, it has to have a little bit more than that. So right now, that's what a lot of people are questioning, is the legitimacy of some of these lawmakers, and are they serious about these as priorities? I don't think many people are. And again, I thought stimulus checks are going to be in here. I still think there's a chance we see stimulus, but as to a stimulus check, I'm not so sure. And just to give you an idea, just for the pandemic unemployment assistance, and this is for gig workers, freelancers, those that are self-employed, 4.2 million people lost all their income, all of it. That includes the $300 per week boost. It was gone. September 6th rolled around and they were done. Now, some say this extension, the unemployment extension, this new legislation, this could actually turn the economy around in specific areas. But experts warn that going backwards and now actually passing legislation for unemployment at this point, even though it would be great for the American people, it would be devastating to the Biden administration, because they would then be pretty much proved that they were wrong. And that's not something that they want to do, especially not at this point when President Biden's numbers are not looking so hot. They're not looking great at this time. But one person says that they already are looking bad, that the administration already looks bad. They're going back on their word and doing things that they promised they wouldn't do. One report today is saying that lower and middle income earners are going to be impacted because of a tax hike. However, it will not be the normal sense through an income tax increase based on your income. That's not what we're going to see. What we're going to see is there's going to be a tax hike that's going to be introduced for tobacco and nicotine. That's where we're going to see the tax. And reports indicate that lower and middle income earners spend more of their disposable income on tobacco and nicotine than high income earners. Higher income earners normally spend more money on alcohol than tobacco and nicotine. So I don't know, what the numbers are there. It didn't say, but it was just lower income earners are impacted more because of this nicotine and tobacco tax. So if you do smoke, you do chew, whatever, you vape, I guess. I don't know, I don't do any of that stuff, but if you do any of that stuff, then yes, you would be paying a bigger tax. In addition to doing things that the administration has promised, a group of Democrats in the House are now upset with the Biden administration. They're saying because they're not sticking to their promises. Not just because they are going back on their word, but the promises that they made, they're not actually sticking to those. They're not providing assistance to the American people that actually need it and that they have promised assistance and relief. They are leaving out too many people that have been negatively impacted due to this pandemic. Many experts say that yes, more must go to children. The $250 and $300 per month boosts or child tax credit payments, they have helped out a lot. However, more must also go to those without children. More must go to people on Social Security, and businesses that are going to continue to struggle, they need additional assistance as well. One thing I can tell you, and I addressed this morning regarding Social Security, is that we are going to see most likely the cost of living adjustment anywhere between 5.9% to 6.3%. Most expect it's going to be right about 6 to 6.1%. What I can tell you is the recent reports from this afternoon are saying that we are going to have this cost of living adjustment. This is going to be narrowed down at the end of October. That's usually when they do it. So you will know what the cost of living adjustment is at the end of next month. However, the reports this afternoon are saying that if we see the inflation kind of cool and it come back down to around that 4%, okay? Or not 4%, in the fours, okay, 4.8, 4.9%, we will most likely see about a 5.9% cost of living adjustment to about 6%. And that will not be good, because even though we are still seeing inflated numbers, you will not be getting as much from your Social Security benefits. So just wanted to address you on that. Now today, Senator Manchin and Sinema will be meeting with President Biden. They're going to be discussing the reconciliation package. It's that $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. What we are hearing is that President Biden wants to get to the bottom of what exactly they're asking for. He wants to know what they will support, how much they're willing to support, and what are their red lines. He wants to know these. He wants to hear directly from them. But again, these are just two senators. These are just two. We still have to worry about the House of Representatives too, but according to the reports today, everybody's more worried about the Senate, but the problem is the House of Representatives is more out of sorts than the Senate is at this point. So we're going to see what happens there. But again, the House of Representatives cannot lose any more than 3 votes. The Senate cannot lose any votes, 0 votes. So if any one of those happens, the Senate loses 1 Democratic vote, the bill dies. If the House loses 4 Democratic votes, the bill dies. So it's a big blow. It's a big blow to Democrats at this point. But that's not the only blow to Democrats. Democrats also had a major blow today regarding the drug price negotiations. Today, 3 centrist Democrats also tanked the party's plan on reducing or allowing Medicare to negotiate the prescription drug prices. What this means is that they will not be able to save money in this case, and that saved money, they were planning on reusing that to further the benefits for people on Medicare. What we know right now is by not allowing them to do this is taking away the possibility or possible funding of what could have went back into Medicare and provided additional benefits to millions and millions of people. And now, here's something else we're hearing. And I addressed this earlier in this video, but I'm going to address it again. Democrats are even more, they're more worried now than before about their numbers, about their poll numbers. We see reports, and polls are not 100% accurate. Okay, it's just a little idea of where we're at, but they are very worried about their poll numbers because they say that they have not provided for the American people like they promised. Democrats say that they need to provide more of the $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill to the people. It needs to go directly to the people. They say that the majorities are not enough right now, and being that all the House is up for re-election, and I think it's either 30 or 50 seats in the Senate are up for re-election as well, they're very worried about what their numbers could potentially look like. They're also worried that what if, and this is just a big what if, but what if Republicans not only win the majority in the Senate, but what if they get 10 additional senators? That means they would have 60 senators, 60 Republican senators, which means they would be able to pass the filibuster. And if Democrats could do that, they could beat the filibuster as well. But the problem is they're not passing enough for the American people at this point, and many Democrats worry that's going to hold them back. So they say we need to be ready to give the voters what they want. And again, what the voters want is more assistance and actually following through with promises. I think that's a big one. But again, that's what we know right now. But as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on here and share any additional news or updates with you guys. Just wanted to fill you in on that. I wanted to fill you in on the retroactive payments. If we do see the unemployment benefits come back again, it's going to help over 7 million people. I think that's huge. I think that would help out the economy in some cases. According to experts, they say that we need to be focused on specific states though. On some states that don't have high unemployment, why should we worry about giving the certain few people, the very minimal percentage of people there, these extra benefits when that might not be beneficial to the state? So Again, we will see what happens there, but as I know more, I promise I will share more. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.